Hey, what's going on, you guys? This is Madam, and we're back once again. This time, we're going to head over to the Washington Post, and this is in local crime and public safety. Mask, gloves, bullet casings among evidence tying man to attacks of homeless men, police say. A 30-year-old D.C. man was ordered to remain detained at the court hearing. He was charged in one homicide in the district and accused in other attacks in D.C. and in New York City. The article is by Pete Hermann and Paul Duggan. Okay? The homeless man died 3 days apart in cities separated by 250 miles. One attack in his tent along a busy commuter road in a district. The other one was shot in the head as he dozed in his sleeping bag. A shop in Lower Manhattan. Police now say surveillance video shows the alleged killer wore identical looking clothes to both crimes of the scenes of the crime this month: a black jacket, black pants, black sneakers, a black mask, and blue latex gloves. Even the bullet casings found on both streets and at 3 other shootings in both cities in which homeless men were wounded were the same .22 caliber, all stamped with the letter C. New details of the attacks over 9 days targeting 5 homeless men in 2 major East Coast cities were revealed Wednesday in court documents filed as the man police arrested in the attacks, 30-year-old Gerard Bevard III, made his first appearance in D.C. Superior Court. The district resident, described by his family as mentally ill and sometimes homeless himself, was arrested Tuesday in southeast Washington. The police said they learned his identity from an acquaintance and tracked his phone and social media accounts. Police said Bevard posted a selfie to Instagram on Monday amidst the mass search, writing, "Feeling devilish, feeling godly." On Tuesday, D.C. police said they charged Bevard with first-degree murder while armed, assault with intent to kill, and assault with a dangerous weapon in connection to 3 attacks in the district. But on Wednesday, the U.S. Attorney's Office presented only the murder charge, saying the other shootings in the district and the 2 in New York remain under investigation. Police in the district and in New York say they believe Bevard is responsible for all 5 attacks, for which a motive remains elusive. Police also said they do not know how or why Bevard apparently traveled to New York, a city that his family and authorities say he has no known ties. At Wednesday's hearing, D.C. Superior Court Magistrate Judge Tanya Jones Bolster rejected arguments from Bevard's attorney and ordered him detained until further court proceedings on April 1st. The defense attorney, Ronald R., said evidence police listed was not strong enough to justify an arrest. He said several witnesses in D.C. and in New York did not describe an assailant who resembles his client, and he noted the police have not recovered a firearm. But Assistant U.S. Attorney Michelle Jackson said witnesses' accounts all included similar clothing descriptions, and at least a tipster identified Bevard from security camera images. She said the attacks were carried out in a similar fashion and that cell phone location data puts him in both cities when the attacks occurred. Another prosecutor, Sarah S., said in this case, "We have over the course of 10 days 5 different victims, 2 deaths in 2 different jurisdictions. and 3 shootings alone in the District of Columbia. Santiago noted a disturbing escalation of violence behavior, particularly aimed at individuals in the community who are vulnerable because they live on the street. Beverett has been in and out of jails for years in Maryland, the district in Virginia, on charges ranging from shoplifting, unlawful entry, to attacking a bicyclist with a knife and assaulting a police officer. Most recently, he served several months in Fairfax County Jail after he was arrested on an abduction charge that was reduced to a misdemeanor assault in a plea agreement. Santiago told the court Beverett is still on probation from that case, so that's a violation. Beverett's relatives said this week that they are shocked by the charges and have offered condolences to the victims and their families. They also said that they repeatedly tried to have Beverett committed for psychiatric help, but those efforts failed. The defense attorney said he lived in D.C. for about 20 years, graduated high school, and completed some college courses. He said Beverett most recently worked at a city winery in Ivory City, near 2 of the homeless men were shot, and where his family said he once lived in a shelter. It goes on to say that Beverett also had worked as a mover in a bar at 2 restaurants. The first shooting in the district occurred on March the 3rd, the 1100 block of New York Avenue, Northeast. The affidavit says that the man had fallen asleep on the sidewalk, and was shot in the lower back and shoulder. Another homeless man was shot on March the 8th in the 1700 block of H Street, Northeast, struck in the head, chest, and thigh as he sat on a chair. Both men survived, thankfully. On March the 9th, police said Morgan Holmes, age 53, was shot and stabbed along New York Avenue in a tent that was set on fire near Union Market. The court affidavit says surveillance cameras enabled police to retrace Beverett's path after the attack on Holmes, tracing him to a service station on Florida Avenue, where they said he tried to fill up a cup with gasoline, and then the Union Station, where they said he stopped at an ATM. Police widely distributed a picture of the ATM to the media during the search. Authorities said they believe Beverett later traveled to New York City. Police there said their first known sighting of him was at 3:30 a.m. on Saturday at Penn Station in Manhattan, a major Amtrak hub for train lines that travel up and down the East Coast. Authorities said a homeless man was shot an hour later as he slept near the Holland Tunnel. After 30 minutes later, police said another homeless man was shot in a sleeping bag 15 blocks away. He was later found dead. The police affidavit filed in D.C. says surveillance cameras captured the man they believe to be Beverett after the shooting, wearing clothing identical to the suspect's clothing worn during the March 9th homicide in Washington, D.C. By 5:30 a.m. on Sunday, police said Beverett was back in the district. Okay? Man, this is... Okay, well, unfortunately, these people got hurt. It is true that they are among some of the most vulnerable people in society because they live on the streets. They do not have permanent residency. However, that gives no one the right to mistreat them. They are still people who have fallen on hard times. Most of them are seeking help. Most of them are on the street due to circumstances unforeseen or family issues, uh, particularly. But nevertheless, these are people, these are human beings, um, and they deserve the same type of, humanity that we would with anybody that is fortunate enough to live in homes or have a place to stay. Sadly, this man took it upon himself, but this is not just a random thing. I can remember about a year or two back, maybe a little bit more. There was a man in Los Angeles. He was actually a very popular, well known. He was in home investments and things like that. He would go to his good job, you know, and do his job at the day, and then he would dress down at night, and he would go around, literally attacking homeless people. The way that they caught that man was because he used his own car, his own vehicle, which was a luxury vehicle. Um, and they caught him on surveillance camera too. So this is not just an isolated incident. Sadly, that this goes on, and that case happened in, I believe, Los Angeles, I believe, or Miami. I'm not too sure about that, but if you were to Google it, you would definitely know what I was talking about. Um, if the person Bevered is accused and they have sufficient evidence, I believe he should not be on the street. He is a danger to people that are at their most vulnerable. But as always, it is fair to state that everyone is innocent until proven guilty. I will keep, updated on this story, keep you updated on this story as it develops with any of my other stories. And this is the time for y'all to drop down in the comment section. Let me know. Have you heard about this? Are you aware? Has anything like this happened in your city or town where you live at, or your state? And, let's get the conversation going. But with that being said, I thank you so much for coming to watch this video, as always, and I will see you in the next one.